I don't know if you can hear, but I think it's like raining or dripping or something, because I can definitely hear the drops on my ceiling. So a couple of weeks ago, I asked for people to send in anonymous letters so that they could be read here. The purpose is that a lot of us sometimes have things that we want to say to other people that we don't feel comfortable saying, either because we're afraid it's going to hurt them, or we don't think it's our place, or we personally are not ready to talk about our feelings just yet. For whatever reason, I have found that writing things out in a letter is always very helpful, and I know that a lot of people agree with that. So I wanted to give people the opportunity to write their feelings out and have them read aloud, so that they don't have to feel like the letter's just staying there with them, but they feel like their emotions have somewhere to go. And of course, all of the names are anonymous, but hopefully this is of some help to some people. I'm sure plenty of people can relate to a lot of the letters that actually got sent in. I actually got 5. So we're going to go ahead and read those. Some of them are on my phone, some of them I got handwritten and sent to me. So hopefully this helps, and I hope you enjoy. Dear stranger, it's been years since we spoke, and I think that may have been the best decision we could have made. I'm happy that you got a chance to live your life without me. Time keeps going. I'm not sure what you went through since the last time I called, but I've sure had an interesting life. Sometimes I think about you, though. The truth is, I don't miss you. I think of this as a victory. There was a time when my whole world revolved around you, and the thought of letting you go was unbearable. We thought we were so in love and we would find a way to be together. But we weren't in love. We were 14, and we were strangers on the internet. I actually still don't even know what city you live in. There are times when I look back and think about how real it all felt and how life-changing it all seemed. We got through it. We're fine, and it didn't ruin our entire lives. I barely even think about you, and I'm sure I hardly cross your mind. But it's nice to know sometimes that we did get over that. Because now, when I go through a hard time or I have to break someone's heart, I think of us. I think about the fact that it really does get better. It gets laughably better. Like, the whole situation gets so ridiculous and unnecessary that all you can do is roll your eyes at how dumb you were to care and how insignificant the whole thing was in the grand scheme of things. Even if at the time it was the biggest thing in the world. It makes me think that right now, I have a new biggest thing in the world. One day, that will probably be a joke too. I'm glad to see that you're doing well. I'm assuming you did go to prom and graduate college and have your awesome quinceañera and try your first legal drink and whatever else people normally do between ages 14 and 23. Maybe it was fun and maybe it wasn't. I'm happy that I don't know, and that you don't know any of my big milestones, and that that's okay. Sincerely, Kitty. Dear person, I was at the store last month and I went in to buy some ice cream for a party. I thought about getting some cookies and cream because that's pretty popular and I love Oreos. An older lady who must have been in her 70s passed by in a giant feathery hat, pushing her shopping cart. She was obviously out of place and she took her sweet time going down the aisle. Her hat looked super similar to the one your mom bought for that doll that she kept in the family room, except this one was a little less faded. A few minutes later, I'm still convincing myself not to buy an extra tub of dulce de leche for myself, when a gentleman about mid-30s saw her hat and gasped. He then starts asking this lady where she bought it and how long she's had it and if she'd be willing to part with it. I think I heard him offer about $100 for it before giving up. Her voice was a little raspier than I expected, but she still managed to sweetly tell him that it wasn't for sale and she would rather be left alone. After this, I got nosy. $100 is decent pocket change, so why not take it? I excused myself to the woman and asked if the hat was special to her. She said it wasn't, but she refused to take money from a man who wore a clip-on tie. I have no idea how Wyoming has changed you, or who your friends are, or what you've been up to lately. All I know is that there's an alternate universe where you stayed in DC, and stayed the girl I always knew, and grew up to be this hip lady. Hope you're happy in the middle of nowhere, signed Jay. P.S. I still have your copy of Chasing Vermeer. If you're not getting it back, I hope you know. Dear X, when I think about 2014, I think of amazing summer sunsets in Florida, my first real job, afternoons in my favorite park, the Ice Bucket Challenge, writing my very terrible first full-length play, nights out with my girls, Adele Dazeem, How I Met Your Mother finale, and Happy by Pharrell. It was a packed year, and you were there for all of that and more. But it's a lot better if I remember it without you. Just like I'm better without you. Really. Stop acting like I'm still trying to win you back. I'm doing just fine. Peace. To my sweetheart. I love you like crazy. You mean so much to me and I really try to cherish every moment that we spend together. This year has been rough for you, but I think if there's been one silver lining to glean from your unemployment, it's that we've been able to spend so much more time together. It's nice that for a change, my oddball work schedule hasn't conflicted with what was your 9 to 5. Truth be told, though, I'm nervous about your reemployment. I'm nervous that no one will hire you, or worse, you'll end up somewhere that makes you feel as miserable as you were at your last place. I'm nervous that you will swallow your pride in everything that makes you unique and keeps you moving in the interest of a job offer that just needs a body to fill a position. What makes me more nervous is that I've heard you say you don't want to take a job that's far away because long-distance relationships scare you. What scares me is having a sweetheart who is afraid to make a move. A job offer from across the country is still a hypothetical right now, but I want to see you do something bold for yourself. Of course, it's hard to make any moves at all when you've gone to all the interviews and every employer has you waiting in limbo. But, hun, when something finally comes your way, I want to see what you're made of. It will either be a great job offer, a mediocre job offer, or none at all. You'll either take what's yours or find a new avenue and start fresh. Whatever happens, it will be a big change. There will be lots of hard work, there will be change in your daily routine, we will see each other less often, you will be faced with at least twice as many trials as triumphs. I made a promise that I would support you no matter what, and I will keep that promise. Just give me something to get behind. Sincerely, and with all the love in the world, Anonymous. My friend, congratulations on your happiest life. I know times are hard right now, money is always stressful, and change can be just as bad. You're a strong lady, you always have been. I know you'll do what's right for you and never abandon your beliefs. I'm glad your boyfriend treats you well. He seems crazy about you, and you definitely deserve someone who loves you with all his heart. I think it's almost been 2 months. That's so great. I really hope he makes you happy. I know your last breakup was tough. I don't think we'd ever seen you happier than when you were with him. I'll be honest, we all thought he was the one. You had this glow when he was around, and I know you loved him and that you saw your life with him. We were all pretty shocked when it didn't work out. I know how devastated you were and how hard it was on you. It was difficult for your friends and family to see you so low. We knew you'd make it through, of course. It was just tough for a while there. But you made it, love. You're back on your feet and you've moved on. I'm proud. I really hope you aren't settling. Maybe I'm overreacting and you're actually quite happy, but I can't help but wonder about it. I know your boyfriend is very special to you, but I don't see that same glow. You two seem to work well together, and it's really a practical relationship. I can see how much he values you. But please don't be with someone just to have someone who loves you. I promise you can find someone who brings you that same glow and changes your life instead of someone who is only practical. Maybe I'm wrong and you two are actually meant for each other. I'd love for that to be the case. Either way, I hope you're in this relationship for the right reasons, and that whoever you end up with not only makes sense for your future, but actually makes your future happier than you've ever been. Love, Anon. Thank you for everyone who sent in letters. I'm glad that you trusted me with this personal experience, and I hope that it did you some good. And I encourage anyone who's watching to find an outlet like this, or whatever works for you, in order to express your emotions about any situation in a positive and healthy way. Thank you for watching, and I will see you next time. Love, Sammy.